Alright, good afternoon. We are CV 100 Group 5 from the Faculty of Laws and Political Science, and we are here to present a work on good governance. First of all, to begin with, in every nation, in every institution, in every organization, you come to understand that there is a need for governance. Talk less of the need of good governance. Good governance has why decisions are made and implemented and not implemented. So to this point, based on this video, we are going to learn on what governance is, what good governance is, how is it important, what are the advantages and disadvantages. Also in this video, we are going to learn on what an election is, what is the system of a good election, and talking about the electoral system of Cameroon. So I'll welcome the first presenter who will come to tell us what is governance.
My name is Emilienne, and I'll be talking on governance. Governance refers to the process, system, and structure through which organizations, institutions, and societies make decisions, implement policies, and exercises authorities. It encompasses the mechanisms by which power is being regulated and exercised. It determines how individuals and groups participate in decision-making process. Governance can be applied at various levels, including corporate governance, government governance, and global governance. At each context, it involves establishing a framework, rules, and procedures to ensure accurate accountability, transparency, and effective decision-making.
Good governance is the process of measuring how public institutions conduct their public affairs and how they manage their resources and guarantee the realization of human rights. This is done through abuses, corruption, and with the implementation of rules of law.
I'm Asah Festus of Public Administration. So I'm here to talk on the attributes of good governance. And the point I'm going to talk on is economic development. In good governance, economic development is essential because it creates a conducive environment for investment and business. It also promotes fair judgment of competition, and it reduces corruption and bureaucratism. It attracts domestic and foreign investors to invest, and it also creates job opportunities and economic development.
Good governance. The first one is transparency. This means that government should operate in an open and transparent manner, ensuring that information, processes, and decisions are accessible to the public. Transparency helps prevent corruption, build trust, and allow citizens to hold their leaders accountable. The second attribute of good governance is accountability. Good government requires that those in power are answerable for their actions and decisions. Public officials should be held accountable for their performance, and mechanisms should be in place to investigate and address wrongdoing and misconduct.
My name is Ondum. I'm here to talk about some attributes of good governance. With me I have the rule of law and participation. The rule of law establishes that laws should be applied fairly. The legal framework are put in place to protect human rights and also provide equal treatment. Secondly, participation. Participation involving individuals in decision making, and it also encourages active participation in decision making between civil societies and the government.
My name is Bright. I'll be adding up to the other attributes that my colleagues already gave. Beginning with the first one, we have equity and inclusiveness. Good governance promotes fairness and inclusiveness, ensuring that all individuals and groups have equal opportunities and access to resources, services, and decision-making process. It seeks to address social disparities and reduce management. Next, we have efficiency and effectiveness. Good governance emphasizes the efficient and effective use of resources to achieve desired outcomes. It involves sound management practices, performance monitoring, and evaluation mechanisms to ensure that public services are delivered in a timely and cost-effective manner. Next, we have ethical conduct. Ethical conduct is an essential aspect of good governance. It entails adhering to high standards of integrity, honesty, and ethical behavior in public services, and promoting a culture of professionalism and ethical conduct throughout government institutions. So, concluding the attributes in general, we will say promoting of good governance is crucial for fostering social economic development, political stability, and protection of human rights. It enhances public trust, strengthens institutions, and encourages citizens' participation, leading to better decision-making and improved services delivery.
My name is Biongo Lucia. I'll be talking about the economic importance of good governance, beginning with the enhanced investors' confidence. Good governance practices such as transparency, accountability, and rule of law create a favorable business environment. This can attract domestic and foreign investors, increase the capital inflow and economic growth. Secondly, we have the efficient resources allocation. In good governance, that public resources are allocated effectively and efficiently. It reduces corruption, waste, that is, this foster economic stability and sustained development.
I'm called Aka Evaluate. To reference to what my colleagues just said, another last economic importance of good governance is that it leads to market confidence. This is the sense that it encourages regulation, fair competition, and also protect consumer rights. Thus, in this case, it will attract investors to come and invest in the country, and also it will lead to trust in the market. So, however, one can conclude by saying that good governance can lead to market confidence.
My name is Osho Dex, and I'm talking on the political importance of good governance. And the point there is legitimacy and trust. Good governance treats in the legitimacy and trust in political institutions. When the government operates transparently, respect the rule of law, and involve citizens in decision making, this will enhance public confidence and promote the social cohesion.
My name is David Cliff. I am emphasizing on the political importance of good governance. Now, the aspect of political importance which I want to emphasize on is on the implementation of policies. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is that the reflections of good governance can also be seen through the policy making process and policy implementation. That is, when to say there is good governance, it is reflected by when a government is able to make good policies that serves the interests of its citizens. When a government lays down policies that serves the interests of its citizens and efficiently executes or implements these policies, it also reflects that there is good governance. These policies we are talking about, it could be tax policy and the government budgeting system, which is aimed at defending and serving the interests of the people. The other aspect of good political importance of good governance is also seen in democracy. That is, when there is the respect for democratic values such as freedom of speech, such as serving the interests of the people, such as freedom of public participation into political activities and into governmental system. It is also a reflection of good governance. In a nutshell, good governance is also reflected through the mechanisms of policy making, policy implementation, and democracy.
Thank you.
I'm Cheke Zoe. I'm here to talk about the importance of social importance of good governance. It engages civics engagement and power. That is in the concept of transparency and participation that encourages the engagement of civics, whereby citizens have a say or voice in decision making. It fosters the sense of ownership and empowerment, strengthens social enhancements, and builds a strong and active citizenship.
Hello, my name is Fale Collins. I would like to talk on the social importance of good governance under the thread of equity and social justice. So, before diving into the subject matter, it is important to note that many crises in the world and riots, conflict in the world is as a result of a bad governance or a failed state. So what then is a failed state? The failed state is a state which has failed to govern its people, or which has lost its political power. Social aspect of good governance, which is equity and social justice, which are the importance of good governance. So a good governance will always promote access to resources, access to opportunities, access to social and values of the country. A good governance will always promote ensuring vulnerable group rights from being violated, and also promote inclusive development in the society.
Good afternoon. My name is Mbela Bidumbanista from the Department of Political Science and Comparative Politics. And today I'll be talking on some few advantages of good governance. One of the advantages of good governance is accountability. Good governance ensures that those in power are accountable for their actions. It promotes transparency, integrity, and ethical behavior, making it easier to hold public officials and institutions responsible for their actions and decisions. Another advantage of good governance is it encourages participation. Good governance encourages the participation of citizens in the decision-making process of the country. It promotes effective consultation and engagement with various shareholders, leading to better policies and decisions that reflect the needs and aspirations of the people. Thank you.
My name is Roy Benet Ekose. I want to add to the advantages of good governance. Economic development, good governance essentially economic development. It promotes competition and reduces corruption. It attracts foreign and domestic investment. It creates job opportunities and economic growth. More to it, good governance emphasizes efficiency and effectiveness. It delivers public services and promotes streamlined processes, effective resource allocation.
My name is Peggy Linda here. I'm here to talk on one of the disadvantages of good governance, which is time consuming. Good governance, which entails unanimity in decision making, will lead to slow decision making, as everyone is supposed to be in one accord. Thus, this will lead to slow decision making.
Good afternoon, I'm Brenda. In addition to what my classmate earlier said, I'm here to present another disadvantage of good governance, which is lack of political will. Good governance requires political will and commitment from government officials, and they may also be resistant to changes and vested interests. This is as a result of the fact that government officials are already used to formal rules and formal policies put in place. They will be reluctant to change these rules depending on their interests.
I'm called NJIKANG SANDRA. Another disadvantage of good governance is capacity and resource constraint. Achieving good governance requires adequate capacity and resources. In some cases, good governments may lack the necessary expertise, infrastructure, or financial resource to implement and sustain good governance practices effectively. And when we talk of financial costs, good governance may require investment in infrastructure, institutions, or capacity building, which may be costly.
Eprika, kescha, Arrey. I will continue on the path of disadvantages.
Good governance often involves complete process and processes to ensure transparency and accountability. This can result in increased bureaucracy and administrative burdens, which may slow down decision mainly and implementations. Thank you.
Hi, I'm called Adam Asong Foretia. I will be talking on the last disadvantage of good governance, which is resistance to change. Good governance might face resistance from corrupt individuals and people who are benefiting from the existing system. That is to say that implementing reforms that will lead to good governance becomes challenging because of this vested interest from people who benefit from the system. Thank you.
So now we come to understand that in as much as there is governance and there is good governance, a good system cannot exist without the issue of transparency and without a good electoral system. And you come to understand that countries go into conflict because of bad governance, and countries, they grow their economy because of good governance. So we cannot do without the good governance. So from here we'll be talking about election and electoral system. What is election? What's an electoral system? Why ELECAM, and how does ELECAM functions? So from here I'll be calling the first person that will be talking on what is election. My name is Henry Lyonga. I'm here to talk on what is an election. Now, an election is a process where people, representative voters, they cast their votes in order to make a decision on whom to represent them. Now, an election can be regional, an election can be national. It depends on the area where the vote is being taking place and what the people want as per time. So you come to understand that even in Cameroon, there is an electoral system which is called ELECAM. You go out of the country in different parts of the world, in Africa, even in the United States of America, you come to understand that there is an electoral system and the electoral process. So I would like us to go deep by talking on what are the attributes of election.
I go by the name Brenda-Thels Arrey, and I'll be talking about electoral system. An electoral system is also known as voting system or electoral method, which is a set of rules and procedures that determine how votes are cast, counted and translated into seats or outcome in an election. It establishes the framework of conducting elections and determines how representatives or decisions are chosen based on the preferences of a voter's interest.
My name is Gashamba Steve. Talking about ELECAM. ELECAM stands for Election Cameroon, which is an electoral management body responsible for the organizing and supervising of elections. As an electoral management body, ELECAM has a various duties and responsibilities.
My name is Julie Lindis, and I'm talking about the background of ELECAM. ELECAM, which stands for Election in Cameroon, is an electoral management body that oversees and administers elections in the Republic of Cameroon. ELECAM was created in 2008, composed of governing bodies known as Electoral Board, which consists of 12 members. The members of Electoral Board are appointed by the President of the Republic, the President of the National Assembly, and the Supreme Court.
Good day, I'm called Esea Emilienne. I'm here to talk on the duties of ELECAM. First, we know that ELECAM stands for Election Cameroon. Some of the duties are: ELECAM is responsible for coordinating voters' registration exercises to ensure that eligible citizens are registered to vote in elections. Another duty is that ELECAM plans and prepares for elections, including determining electoral timeline, establishing polling station, and coordinating logistics. Thank you.
My name is Eprika. I will shed more light on the duties of ELECAM. We talk about candidate nomination. ELECAM oversees the process of candidate nomination. The process of candidate nomination, including verifying the eligibility of candidates and accepting nomination. Also, we have ballot preparation. ELECAM design, print, and distribute ballot for election, ensuring that they accurately reflect the candidate and electoral choices.
My name is Rehab Lokombe. I'm here to
throw more light on the duties of ELECAM. ELECAM is responsible on resolving electoral disputes. That is to say, it resolves disputes during election and even after election. ELECAM is also responsible in counting of votes and the proclamation of results after election. Another ELECAM conducts voters educational campaigns on the importance of participating in elections.
My name is Bamu Emmanuel. I want to talk about transparency. Transparency is a key principle for candidate election. A transparency election is one in which each state is open to security. Transparency in an election helps establish trust and public confidence in the process, as voters have the means to verify results.
My name is Zelesele Kisla, and I will continue from where my colleague ended. Transparency being a key factor of credible elections, there are some ways in which an organization or institution can promote this aspect of ethnic voting. That is by providing members with the ability to vote, ensuring a transparent, credible election should start with a comprehensive list of all voting members. And also, an accurate voting list is beneficial when eligible voters are aware of how to vote, as well as communicating where to cast a ballot, when they can expect to receive the results. To conclude, members who want to fully participate in a democratic process of election go in with the comfort of knowing that the election is being managed in a transparent and secure manner.
We have learned on what governance is, what good governance is, and we come to understand that good governance is the process whereby decisions are made and be implemented or not implemented. And we come to see that there cannot exist a state, a community, or an organization without the aspect of good governance. And we have also seen what election is and what an electoral system stands for. And we have carefully analyzed and studied the electoral system of Cameroon, which is ELECAM. We are still Group 5, and we stand for Good Governance.